There's this meme that you see on social media nowadays that says, "What if we treated our Bibles like our phones?" Which is, it's the first thing you look at when you get up. It's the last thing that you look at before you go to bed. If you leave it behind at home, you go back to get it, or you look at it for messages throughout the day. Have at it, guys.
Israel, listen, our God is the Lord, only the Lord. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your being and all your strength. These words that I am commanding you today must always be on your minds.
Recite them to your children. Talk about them when you are sitting around your house and when you're out and about, when you are lying down and when you are getting up. Tie them on your hand as a sign. They should be on your forehead as a symbol. Write them on your house's door frames and on your city gates.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. Y'all can stay sitting there if you want. So, how many of you remember the show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Anybody? And how many of you were smarter than a fifth grader? I see 0 hands in the room. I was reminded this a couple weeks ago when I had to help one of the students at Santa Fe do long multiplication. I had forgotten how to do that, and so I had to relearn how to do that. And so when our kids were down here during kids' time, I hope you learned something. Be honest, how many of you knew the answer to all of the questions? I mean, the kids did. And again, I see 0 adult. Bill, you didn't even know? You knew? Okay. Oh, okay. But we hope that you learned something from that and what the kids have been doing this year. One of the things that they were really excited about was there is it's called The Creators, and they create videos. So these are like tweens who are making these biblical videos. And so our kids here wanted to do one of those videos, and they wanted us to show one of them this morning. So take a look. This one is about humility.
Why is so?
Now, who doesn't love a dancing cat? You do. You do love a dancing cat. So when we look at that video, we're reminded of what it means to be welcoming to people. I don't know if you have noticed, but over the last few weeks, when you come into the sanctuary, back there in the corner, there is a bookshelf, and so it's got Bibles on it. So we have this. This is a little kids Bible for kids. As Guy and I were talking about earlier, it's really just pictures. So it's more on our speed of things for me and Guy. Then there's a kids Bible that has a little less pictures, and then this one it's a comic book Bible, and so this is for youth. And what I've noticed is that when the kids come in to worship, they will pick up a Bible, and those were provided. The Fidelis Sunday School class wanted to do something where the kids could have a Bible when they came into church, so we are so appreciative of that. Let me ask you this. If there was a bookshelf back there with adult Bibles on it, how many of you adults would pick one up as you came into church? There's this meme that you see on social media nowadays that says, what if we treated our Bibles like our phones? Which is, it's the first thing you look at when you get up. It's the last thing that you look at before you go to bed. If you leave it behind at home, you go back to get it, or you look at it for messages throughout the day. So how many of us actually do that? So there's this great thing that Wesley says about this scripture for today. The scripture for today is from Deuteronomy, where Moses is is commanded by God to tell this to the people, and then the people are supposed to share it with their children. It even says recite it to your children, and it's very specific as to say you're supposed to share it where. Was anybody paying attention? 2 places. In your house and when you are out and about. So when you are out and about, that's everywhere. So what Wesley says about this specific passage is that we are to recite these things, we are to share these things with our children diligently, earnestly, and frequently, and we are to share those by the means of visual, oral, and written. So these are the ways we share. This is how we share. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Well, for us, it means it's more than just on Sunday morning. It's, if we are talking about this visually, orally, and written, it means that this is showing the children showing them about our faith each and every day. It's about how we live our lives. And so what the kids have done throughout this year is they will look at a picture Bible and look at these scriptures and these stories, and then go home and work through that with their parents so that they can learn these things, so the parents can learn with them. And so they're learning together. The kids are teaching the parents, and the parents are helping to teach the children. But this isn't just about that immediate family for us. When Wesley says we need to do these things frequently, it's not just me as a father talking about it to my 2 children, or you as a parent just talking with your kids and the people in your house. This is about the church. This is not immediate family. This is our church family, and sharing these things with others. And we are supposed to do that. We are called to do that by the way that we live our lives. So let me ask you this. When is the last time that you shared your faith with somebody outside of your immediate family? When is the last time you told somebody about your relationship with Jesus Christ? Because we've seen by the kids' example here this morning, by learning these scriptures, learning these stories, and being able to tell us what they have learned, that the kids do learn and the kids do pick up on what we are teaching them. And guess what? They teach us as well. Tracy even said that she learned a couple things that she didn't know from this. And so when we look to the example of the kids and what they have done, what they have learned, it encourages me, and I hope that it encourages each and every single one of you, that we can continue to learn. We continue to learn about what Scripture has to say to us and what it has to say to us this day. It's more than just about Sunday morning. It's about how we live our lives, how we go forth from this place, how we share the gospel with others. The popular phrase that says that, learning is more caught than taught. And to break that down, basically what that means, more caught than taught, is that it's about the way that we live our lives. That's what's going to speak to people. That's how people are going to learn from us. So I commend each and every one of you, every one of you kids, and what you have learned. And I would encourage you. This is just for y'all, so all the adults, y'all don't have to pay attention anymore. But I would encourage you to pass on what you have learned. So what you have learned over this last year, share it not just with your parents and those in your house, share it with people in this church, and more importantly, share it with people throughout our community. So thank you for teaching us today.